I have changed example 3a to f composed with g rather than g composed with f because the domain is a little more interesting in this example. So remember, that we can write this as f of g of x, which means f becomes my template, and so that's going to be the square root of, but then whatever, wherever x was, I'm going to replace that with g of x, and g of x is 2x plus 3. So there's the composed function. So now if I look at the domain, first I have to consider the domain of the embedded function, but g of x is 2x plus 3. Well, that's just a linear function, no fractions, no radicals, so the domain of that is all real numbers. Then I have to look at the domain of the composed function. Well, this is a radical. So remember, to find the domain of a radical, let me do this down here so I have room. What you have to do is take what's under the radical and say that it's got to be greater than or equal to 0. So that would give us 2x is greater than or equal to negative 3, which would give us x is greater than or equal to negative 3/2. So the domain would be from negative 3/2 to infinity. So the domain of the composed function actually turns out to be, if we find the intersection of all real numbers and this limited domain, it's going to be the limited domain. So the domain of the composed function would be negative 3/2 to infinity. For C, I just wanted to show you that we could do it the way we did this on the front page, or we could do it the way you could find the composition first and then plug it in. So instead of doing g of f, let's change this to f of g as well, since I already found that. All right, so if I do it the way we did on the front side, what we're going to do is first find, so I'm going to write it like this. And first I'm going to find g of 12, which is equal to 2 times 12 plus 3, or 27. Then you plug that into f to figure out the composition. Well, remember, f of x was the square root of x, so that's just going to give me the square root of 27. And if I simplify that, well, 27 is equal to the square root of 9 times the square root of 3, and the square root of 9 is 3. So I can write that as 3 times the square root of 3. But now let me take a different approach. Since I found that f composed with g is the square root of 2x plus 3, I can also find f of g of 12 by plugging directly into the composed function. So that's going to give me 2 times 12 plus 3, which is the square root of 27, which is also 3 times the square root of 3. So you can do that either way. It really depends on whether I've found the composed function or not. If I already have, I might go this route, but if I have not, I'll probably go this route.